There's Kevin with the Rogue Deck Builder here with this week's episode of the Market Monday. Woo, it's back. One of my goals for 2021 is to revive these channels. So, weekly episodes of Market Monday, weekly episodes of Tuesday Brews Day, and then we'll see what else we want to do with this channel. I'm sure there'll be some rant videos mixed into the mix. So, today, Market Monday. It's been a while since I talked about the update to the market. Last time, I think we were predicting we were heading into a bear market, and I think that I stand corrected. I still think that we will have a bear market sometime in 2021. It's got to collapse, guys. There's too many products. I think that Magic the Gathering got lucky with the pandemic and the lockdowns when people weren't traveling, and they put that money into collectibles instead of going on their vacation to Hawaii or whatever. So collectibles are going to have an adjustment. I think that there's just too many products in Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Flesh and Blood, all of these things were just overhyped, and a lot of purchases that wouldn't have gone there did go there this year. There's also a lot of FOMO. There's a lot of investment. There's a lot of Bitcoin bros that have entered into the kind of the hobby industry, and I don't see it being sustainable. However, Magic is doing a lot better than I anticipated. The sales on the products that I thought were going to be just crushed. I thought we were going to finally see products go below distributor cost. We haven't seen that in a long time. Didn't happen. In fact, there have been products that have been rebounding a lot better than I thought they were going to rebound. A lot of these being the products in the War of the Spark, Return to Ravnica Allegiance, Guilds of Ravnica, a lot of the bundles, the previous kits, those type of products that I thought were going to be dead on shelves for years have started to see movement, and now we're at the point where War of the Spark, Ravnica Allegiance, and Guilds of Ravnica are not even at distributor price anymore. They're a little bit above. So the cheapest I can get them for is around $90 to $95 for those particular booster boxes. So we're seeing a run of those products, and that might make sense. One of the things that those particular products are, they are the first or the last booster boxes that are available before the collector's edition. Now, collector's edition have changed the way that I think booster boxes are going to be seen in the future. In fact, Wizards of the Coast has changed their focus as well. So for this particular set, Kaldheim, as a local game store, I can kind of give you my numbers. My set boosters are 10 times the supply that the regular booster boxes are. So it seems that Wizards of the Coast is trying to shift people over. If you want to actually crack packs, you go to the set boosters. If you want to draft, you go over to the booster boxes. So they're trying to shift people over to those. I think this is their way of increasing the price of booster packs without increasing the price of booster packs. So if they can get people to spend money on collector's editions, and they can get people to spend money on set boosters, which are a higher premium, rather than the draft probably costs as much. It does. It costs as much to create a booster box of draft as it does a booster box of collector edition. So rather than just increasing the price of booster packs, which they probably need to do based upon inflation within the past few years, they decided they're just going to shift the focus over to something that they get more bang for their buck, being collector's editions and set boosters. So there are only 30 packs in a set booster, so that's their increase right there. Is they cost a little bit even more than a regular booster box, plus they have less packs, so it's less production cost, and as well, collector's edition have way less production costs, in my opinion, than the booster boxes, and they get even a higher premium for those. So I think that's the direction they're going to take, and so it makes these pre-set boosters, pre-collector's edition booster boxes like Return to Ravnica, War of the Spark, Guilds of Ravnica, quite reasonable. And if you actually compare Return to Ravnica through War of the Spark to its predecessors, being the Ixalan, Rivals of Ixalan, Our Devastation, and Amonkhet, there is better cards in this run than there was in that previous cycle. So I think that is showing why these particular sets are on the move. None of them are that interesting as far as price is concerned. Ravnica Allegiance being around that $84 for the expected market price you'll get for opening up a booster box. So that does make them a little more lucrative, but I was very, very surprised to see that we had a run this quick on these particular products. So I would not wait if you are looking to get into Guilds of Ravnica cycle. The price has already increased higher than it was a couple weeks ago being still around that $80 to $85 for being distributor price, now up to the $90 to $95, with many distributors are just flat out of these. So I think I'm down to like two distributors I can get these products from. Whereas it was a couple weeks ago, I could get them from basically all the distributors that I use. There are also some interesting things going on with the core sets. Core Set 2020 is a product that I think is very reasonable to pick up right now. Same thing with Core Set 2019. There are quite a few cards in the Core Set 2020 that I think are very, very good long term. You can see that we have this run of rare cards that are all around the $5 range, which is something that also does not exist now in the collector's edition forward sets. So rares became the new uncommons, uncommons became the new commons, and mythics became the new rares as far as prices are concerned. And the only thing that does hold value now in the collector's edition forward is like the really premium full art, those type of cards. The chase stuff is where all the money is held now in the collector's edition forward. However, that also isn't really true with Theros. Theros Beyond Death has had a huge recovery, mainly to do that a lot of these cards are seeing more play in Commander. The thing I like about Theros or Theros is it's the least opened of the sets, and it is there actually is quite a few cards that are going to be staples long term. It does not survive rotation, so that's one of the things that's bad about Theros Beyond Death. So we see like late 2021 with the pandemic subsiding, where people are starting to actually play like Grand Prix and whatnot. We're probably not going to see that in 2021. The models are showing that coronavirus is probably going to hit its peak in February and March, and the vaccination and whatnot is going to come into effect, and it's going to take some time for that peak to actually go back down to what we consider reasonable levels for organized play to return. So that's actually spells disaster for things like Theros Beyond Death and Throne of Eldraine and Ikoria as far as their value for tournament play. But what's good about these particular sets is they do tend to have enough cards for the Commander and long term that they can hold some value. Eldraine is also very interesting too, because this set was opened up like crazy, had collector's editions, had the gift packs, and it still is recovering quite nicely, comparatively speaking, with other sets. I also do like Zendikar Rising. I think Zendikar Rising started to see that trajectory going upwards, meaning that it's recovering. And the thing about Zendikar Rising is it does have the box toppers, which are averaging $20. So when you open up a box topper, you have $20 you can count on right there. So if you actually include that into the mix, the Zendikar Rising is also at that 75 range that the Eldraine is. So a lot of interesting things going on with Magic the Gathering. It's fared a lot better than I expected. And then now these $600 checks are starting to roll in, so I think we're going to see a run on some of these products. And a lot of the dead products, even like Commander 2019 and Commander Ikoria, are starting to move. There have been a lot of discussions in the finance communities about these are great picks long term, with the Dockside Extortionist from 2019, as well as the free spells from Commander Ikoria that have dodged reprints. Both of those now, Dockside Extortionist and the free spells, have dodged some reprints with these recent things. I think the big test will be Commander 2021 with the release of the next set, if they do it corresponding with the release of the next set, to see if those do dodge. If they do dodge, those also become good products to invest in long term. So very interesting stuff. We're not. I wouldn't call this a bull market right now. It's just kind of a. It's a very reasonable market, and it seems to be more organic and natural growth than flat out speculation. And again, we do have that the lockdown, the hobby, the money that was going to travel, that it has to end at some point. But overall, Magic is faring better than even I expected it to fare. So where do we go forward here? Do I expect 2021? I expect the sealed market price of this stuff to age very, very well. It seems that we've entered into this new kind of culture with even the Bitcoin bros, a lot of people that have entered into the more NG finance as far as holding sealed product. We still seem to have a lot of people out of sheer boredom opening up older products. What I've noticed a lot with my own customers is, hey, I've got my fill of Zendikar Rising. I missed Theros. I'm gonna try out Theros. So like a new player comes in with Zendikar. Okay, I'm gonna try some Theros out. I'm gonna try some Eldraine out. Oh, what happened in War of the Spark had a Planeswalker per pack? Okay, I'm gonna open up some War of the Spark. And so we're actually seeing like sealed product dwindle and even add more supply that we wouldn't see with kind of this whole this culture of cracking packs that has been gone for a long time that has now come back, to add more supply in the singles market but less supply in the sealed market. Now, it's all about rolling with the punches, and I think people's perceptions of the market need to change with the evidence at hand. I used to hate sealed product long term. I started Magic in this time period, this Return to Ravnica all the way to Amonkhet. This was a time period where sealed product was the dullest thing you could get into. You could go, if you went into something like Smothering Tithes, you'd have a lot better return and a lot even safe. Like with me, it was Ikamoth Nexus. It was the Fast Lands. Those were always something that were much more liquid and much more lucrative to invest in, and they were just given does with the rotations of the standard sets, with modern being the premier format to get into. There was just these givens that once a card rotated, there would be the shelf life of the rotation life of when it hit its bottom. You invest in it. A year and a half later, it would recuperate. At 2 years down the road, it'd be double its price, and that was a lot more lucrative to get into than something like sealed products that just rotted. We had things like Return to Ravnica that it was distributor price, a little bit below distributor price for a good decade when this set existed. That you could get in, you could find boxes for $80 for that entire time. So if you would have invested in Return to Ravnica, it would have been something that would be a dead set. However, now we're seeing, like I mentioned earlier, Guilds of Ravnica, Ravnica Allegiance, and War of the Spark are already not distributor price. Could we see the same with Collector's Edition going forward? We'll have to keep our eye on it. If we go back to Dominaria, which was just the set right before, Dominaria boxes are what? They're like $140, $150 a booster box. We go even a little bit further with the Hour of Devastation at $140. We have Amonkhet that's like $140. I think Hour of Devastation is like $160. We go into Cal Edition 8th Revolt. These sets are nuts how expensive they are. And even if we go a little bit further with Eldritch Moon, these ones are very, very expensive as well. And they're more liquid thing. You can get people to actually purchase these a lot easier than your staple modern cards and whatnot. So I've changed my tone on sealed versus singles. Again, you have to roll with the punches. You have to stay with the evidence-based and whatnot. So I've changed my focus there. The other problem, too, with the reprint hell that we saw in 2020 is look at the value of these sets. These are terrible. Born of the Gods at 37 because of some premier cards being reprinted in Born of the Gods. We have Shadows over Innistrad at 41. We have Eldritch Moon at just $75. With this sealed product being worth twice as much, 3 times as much as the EV that you're going to get out of them. This is concerning for the secondary market for the singles because it just shows that there are way too willing to continue to reprint. We just saw so many cards with Jumpstart, with the mystery booster boxes, with the set booster boxes having cards in them from basically the history of Magic. We had Commander Legends having a ton of reprints in them. We have Commander decks now coming out in every set that have reprints in them. We have spell books. We have all of these things that have just kind of collapsed the secondary market with just reprint after reprint after reprint. It's very, very tough for a card to dodge a reprint. The good news with the singles market going forward is it's one of these things with Magic that the more cards in the pool, the harder it is to get them reprinted. And I think that they're trying to do this whole set booster with having this list of cards, but set boosters with one out of every 4 pack actually having a list in them, I don't think is a reasonable way to get singles into the market. So we should see that the cards should begin to recover as there are just more eligible reprints or more cards that need to be reprinted, and less spots for them to actually go into, comparatively speaking, with the other cards that could go into that spot. And we should see the singles market in maybe a year or two be something that is investable again. But right now, if I were to make the call of investing between singles and sealed, it's definitely go to the sealed the market. You're not going to be able to find. I mean, if you can find those Smothering Tithes and you can dodge reprints and what like that, that definitely would still be preferable. But even some of my classics like the Arclight Phoenix, I went in huge on Arclight Phoenix, and then it did hit Modern, and Modern was still a healthy format, and I was able to, basically I think I sold them for $20 to $25 and got in all the way from $2 to $5 on the copy, and about over 100 copies of the Arclight Phoenix. Like that, of course, would be a better way to do so. But you're still looking at, like, I ended up buy listing them. I think was the cheapest way to get out of Arclight Phoenix without all the fees and whatnot. And so sealed is a lot easier because sealed I can usually find like buyers to actually give it a reasonable price for them rather than getting hit by fees and whatnot. If you use like Facebook groups, you use Discord groups, things like that. Anyway, that's kind of the overall feel for the market at the moment. You can go and check out my top 10 video over at the Rogue Market. I kind of go over some of the good buys right now. I discuss Modern Horizons, Core Set 2020, Zendikar Rising, both the Collector's Editions and the booster boxes, definitely because of the box toppers. I think they're going to age very, very well. I think Commander Legends is going to be the new Battle Bond eventually. So go and check that video out for more in-depth Market Monday. I'm going to keep this one a little bit short and sweet. We'll be looking at the market. One of my New Year's resolutions is going to be reviving the Rogue Market channel. So I'm going to commit to the Rogue Roundup on Thursdays. So you should have videos that are coming out quite consistently. We'll do Market Monday here on this channel, and then Tuesday Brews Day. And then we'll do the Rogue Roundup every week for the Rogue Market, and then I'll have some just videos of more of the fluff over at the Gone Rogue Games channel. So that's my New Year's resolution: is more videos, more content. Try to set some time. What ends up happening is I'm like, hey, I need to get all my other business dealings done, and then I get distracted with that, and then I'm like, okay, I need to do a video. I'll do it, and it keeps getting put on the back burner. I'm gonna try to focus on doing the videos first, and then we can get to the other run-of-the-mill upkeep that I need to do for my life, and hopefully we can squeeze it all in, and I won't run myself ragged. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of a short and sweet Market Monday. That's kind of where I'm at. I think we're not necessarily in a bear or a bull market, kind of in between the two. There has to be a day of reckoning for all of this collectibles with the overprinting and the over money, the saturation of 2020 that went into this market. But overall, it is faring a lot better than I thought it would be faring by this point of early 2021. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Kevin with the Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.